Welcome back to C.V.A Podcast.
Hello.
I'm Roberto.
I'm Joe.
And we're going to walk you through E3 sensation today. Basically, Joe, what is it?
This is our spotlight on our favorite games from what's been announced at E3.
Indeed. Be right back.
So, Roberto, what's one of your favorites that you saw that
What
was
caught
announced?
my eye, and I think it's really, really scary. Just for the
Okay.
thought of it, it's definitely Watch Dogs.
Ah, the one that everybody's talking about.
I know. I'll go with the masses. It just this whole conspiracy theory. It's just fascinating.
Well, it's definitely, I mean, even though it is something that everyone is talking about, it's there's a reason that everybody is talking
The
about.
graphic, it's outstanding. The
Graphics is
outstanding.
amazing. Great storyline. Just all in all, very well put together game.
I would say so. I mean, one of my favorite games ever. It's God of War. And if you look at it, it's really well rounded. It's a great story, great graphic, great mobility of the character, and the upgrades and so forth. So it's fantastic. But this Watch Dogs, it might be the next one on my list that I definitely must play.
Now, for those that don't know, Watch Dogs is it's a Grand Theft Auto style gameplay.
Better.
Yes, but upgraded. And you are this guy who has the ability to hack everything, anything that's connected to a computer.
Cell phones,
Which is
media
everything.
in general.
He's able to hack it with his cell phone.
And basically human beings are not human beings anymore. They are considered more as clusters.
They're slaves to their technology.
Pretty much.
So everything about them is accessible and usable to this character. It's very unique, and we will post a link to the trailer in the comments below.
Just like us, you must watch these. You're going to be astonished. There's also, we're going to suggest a different link as well. Just going to provide that. It's a demo play of the first very few minutes that you can walk through and see what the game is really about. Just don't miss that, because it's really, really good. So, how about you?
Well, I've got a lot just because I'm a game geek.
How about you condense?
Let's try.
Let's try this.
Seeing as we only have so much time,
Yes.
one of them that I think is going to be interesting, and I didn't really see a lot of news on this, but I think could be very fun. It's a Lego game. And the actual title...
Seen it.
Yeah, the actual title for the game is Lego City Undercover. And this is also in a Grand Theft Auto style, but built in a Lego world based on the Lego City playsets.
Yes.
And it's a sandbox game, which for those that don't know mean it's an open world. You're given an area and you can explore openly and do whatever you would like to do within the game.
You can also become a criminal and actually go undercover and destroy things, hack into ATM machines. It's pretty fun. It looks like interesting and fun to play.
Now the one downside to the game. As of right now, that's been announced, it's only available on the Wii U.
Yes.
Which sucks.
Eventually, just like any other games, most of the other games is going to become available for different platforms, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Because it looks really fun to play.
At least the PC. I mean, at least
Almost
give me the PC.
as much as South Park.
Yes.
I gotta say, South Park, it was one of the highlights for me. It looks a lot of fun with bad language and exactly what South Park is about.
South Park is a RPG.
Play Jesus.
It's an RPG third person where you're actually immersed in the game, and they've made it to look like an actual South Park episode where you are a new kid on the block. Now obviously they've kind of done similar stories and similar games before, but this looks to be the best in regards to actually taking their time and putting together something appropriate. The one complaint I kind of have, and I don't want to say it's a complaint because everyone's a little different,
True.
and I would like to actually, try it myself, but I'm a little iffy about it, is from what I've heard, the fighting in the game is very Final Fantasy VII type.
I was about to say, and also, it's good that you complain, because we want your opinion on this. It's, obviously there's millions of players that love Final Fantasy, so do I. But it cannot be as much as flawless as we thought it could. But at the same time, it's a sub park, so you have a lot more fun exploring and uncovering the story than the actually play time. And it might be good for the game, not necessarily for the overall, but we'll see.
Absolutely. Now there's a couple of games that I'm just going to kind of skim over real quick because I think they're worth a mention, but everybody has their different feelings on them, and some just we don't really need to go into. Black Ops 2. I loved Black Ops. Wasn't really too much of a fan of Modern Warfare 3, but I'm excited about Black Ops 2. In all honesty, I'm looking forward to it more just because it's a mindless shooter that I can get in, join my friends, and we can just shoot the shit out of everybody else. I don't really go into it looking for the great storyline or the great graphics. I just want to be able to blow some shit up and feel like an idiot when I die. Let's just be simple here.
So video games are about.
Another game that's coming out, SimCity 2013.
No comment.
Roberto's not a fan. I'm super excited about it, and I will probably be one of those guys that gets it, plays the hell out of it for a week, and then never touches it again. Because it'll get boring.
Exactly my point.
But I still love them. I love them, I love them, I love them.
Well, it's to each his own, Absolutely. It seems time for Skyrim Online.
Yes.
I know that you are super excited about this because you love Skyrim. I love Skyrim. It's a great story. I wish they made a movie. I mean, so far they only made a live action trailer, and it looks really good. Even though seems like the Vikings got a belly or something.
So yes, the Elder Scrolls Online, the first in the Elder Scrolls series to be a online multiplayer, an MMO.
Apparently you're going to be able to explore the whole world, play online with your friends, see when they are online, you can chat, you can also ask them if they want to join you, but you're going to be able to play with complete strangers as well.
What I'm curious about is because anyone who's played any of the Elder Scroll games knows that they feel like an MMO even though you're only playing by themselves, because most of their worlds are so vast, especially Skyrim. And the detail in what the game can do and the graphics and the character creation, they're a ton of fun. So to actually come out with an MMO could be great, but could also fail epically. And I really hope that they do it right.
Yeah, I think it can't. Just for the simple fact, alright, you have games like World of Warcraft.
Yes. You also
no matter how many updates they do, or they offer different things online and so forth, it's still successful. You have a lot of people playing.
It is. Same with Star Wars, The Old Republic. Didn't quite get as big as they were expecting, and I think a lot of people were expecting. But, and it could be just my opinion, it feels like the world of MMOs has gone quiet. It got really big with World of Warcraft, and was big for quite some time, and there were other MMO games that came out, and people were saying, oh, this is going to be the killer for World of Warcraft, and never was. But I've noticed, at least with the people that I talk to, that play World of Warcraft still, it's getting old, and it's almost gotten too easy as people play, because they want the average person to come in and play, so they've taken away the challenge from the more experienced MMO people, and they've gotten bored with it. Again, this is one of those things, if they do it right, I could see the Elder Scrolls becoming that next big MMO that everyone is talking about. Just, I mean, look at Skyrim alone. Skyrim was an Elder Scrolls game, and a lot of people never really knew of the Elder Scroll games until Skyrim.
Yes.
And it became this huge game. So it's got the backing, it's got the popularity. The foundation's there. It's whether or not they do it right.
I will say, I mean, the words of mouth, obviously, it's the best publicity for any game, because if I play it and come to you, obviously you're gonna tell all your friends, so do I. When it comes down to Skyrim, I think it has been successful because it's an outstanding game. Now, regarding World of Warcraft, I gotta agree with Joe. It has become a little bit stale. That it doesn't offer as much as it used to, and it's becoming really, really easy. But then at the same time, don't kill me for this. I don't play World of Warcraft. Guilty as charged. Just because.
I don't either.
Okay. Full power. And just because I don't like just to go around and capture the flag like Halo or something, something like that. I like my games to be a lot more playable. That's why I'm halfway excited about RE6, Resident Evil.
Okay.
He's having a lot of publicity because you have 4 different characters that you can play with, like Ada Wong, and key player to the old Resident Evil. So I'm looking forward to play that one as well. But going back to Skyrim, I think it can be really, really successful because for some reason, if you watch some trailers, it looks a lot more natural. It doesn't look as a game. Even if you look at the background and the layout of the city itself with rivers and such, it looks a lot more astonishing than what World of Warcraft really is. Because if you look at the screen, it's still, no matter how your computer powerful it is, it's still a game. Same thing, lately, I've been playing a lot of Diablo 3. It's a good game. Good game.
Okay. Speaking actually of the graphics and everything, another game from E3 that don't know so much about the gameplay, but the uniqueness and the visual of it is very striking, and that's the Undefined Swan. Unfinished, thank you. Unfinished Swan.
It looks different, guys.
It's very different. It's a PlayStation Network game. There's really no, from what I can tell, and I could be wrong, there's no real comparison to any other game out there, except the only thing I could think of, and forgive me if I say it wrong, it's
Mickey?
Yeah, the what was that game with Mickey Mouse with the paint, where everything was black and white and they had to go
it's
through
Mickey. I think it's Mickey.
Yeah, I just can't remember the name of it now. But basically, you are a little boy that whose mother dies, and she's a painter, but she's got full of unfinished artwork. And when you go to the orphanage, you're only allowed to take one painting with you, and he takes his painting that was her favorite. Well, he notices one night that this swan, if I remember correctly, is missing from the painting. And it's like he goes into the painting, he goes into the world.
By leaving footprints as you go.
Correct. The swan leads him into the world by leaving, and everything is black and white with little hints of color. So, for example, the swan's footprints are little yellow footprints. And you go into this world, and it leads you through this gate. This is the very beginning of the game, so I'm not spoiling anything. It goes into this gate, and then the next thing you know, you're just at a white screen. And you almost think that the game's frozen, because it literally is just a blank slate. Well, you have this black paint, I guess you could say, like water balloons or paintballs.
Yeah, you shoot water balloons through the game, and as you walk, you basically create your own path.
Well, you uncover the path because it's already there. So think of it, think of it like the disappearing ink, and you need that magic marker to reappear. So you're in this game, and you're throwing these paintballs, and as you throw it and it hits, all of a sudden you uncover a bridge, or you'll uncover a frog, or a lake with a frog on it and stuff like that, and the things will move. So it's like now you can all of a sudden see them. But if you throw too much of it, you can actually saturate it and not see the detail and miss something. So it's a really interesting concept, and you're not stuck to just black and white. As you move later, you're given water, and there's like a bunch of vines that almost covers the page, and as you throw water, the vines increase and grow, and flowers bloom, and that allows you to move on to the next thing. So it's like it's a small little puzzle where you only have so much, paint, so much water, so much whatever you need to get through the level. So you kind of have to be sparing about it, but you have to have enough to be able to tell where you're going without falling off a cliff or something. It's a really interesting concept and visually very striking.
Yeah, it is. You can see in some of the trailers that they have on YouTube, you can actually see that there's the second stage. You will use water balloons, and it's not black anymore. It's actually kind of a bluish color. One thing that they were saying that you can die to the game, but not really, because after 3 seconds you should reappear. Just do the last checkpoints. And let's put it this way: it looks like a maze walking through, where you gotta uncover by painting, but at the same time, like he said, if you paint too much, it's gonna be too much saturated. One interesting fact of this game is that once you reach a certain point in the game, you can actually look back and see the whole path that you covered and exactly the trail that you left by painting the surroundings. So I think that's a really cool feature.
That is very cool. I didn't hear that. That's very cool.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, there's great things.
Epic Mickey, by the way.
Thank you, Epic Mickey. That was the name of it. God, that was gonna drive me nuts.
Power of technology.
So another game that actually Roberto and I were discussing just before this, that I think it's another very visually striking game. It's another in the horror series type game. It's supposed to be a suspense horror.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shooter game, but it's called Metro Last Light. And it's actually a sequel to Metro 2033, if I remember correctly. Looks amazing. Very neat concept.
It does. There's also, did you know they have a live trailer for this as well? Where they are in Russia. Or I think it's the first one, right? Where they are in Russia and something happens.
Well, you're in Moscow, if I remember correctly, in this one.
Yeah, they speak Ukrainian, Russian, whatever.
Foreign language.
Foreign language. What do you mean, who cares? Oh gosh. But yeah, it looks very unique. It reminded me of Resident Evil 2. When you go through the sewer, there's a giant alligator that you gotta fight through it. But obviously the playability of the game is gonna be what it is. It's a first-person shooter. You don't see your character unless you go through the segment of the videos. But has a lot of potential because you're shooting at people.
Well, you're shooting at things.
At things or things. we don't know yet. I mean, they haven't been clear exactly to what you're shooting at. But seems like you are stuck in a subterranean.
Yeah, it's very post-apocalyptic
scenario.
Yeah, and it's really cool. In the one preview that I saw from E3, you have a mask on your face because in order to breathe. And as you go outside, it starts to rain, and you actually see the water drops hit your mask, and you actually have to wipe the water away, which is some neat functionality. The light that's on your gun that you're walking around with, you have to charge the light because it's got chargeable batteries. So you actually have to charge it because it'll die on you. So that means as you're playing this game, you're going through dark tunnels and rooms, the light will start to get dimmer and dimmer on you, and you have to stop and charge it. It's a lot, again, it's in that genre of that suspense horror. Things will jump out at you, try to scare you, you see shadows.
Yeah, even the creators say that they were shooting more for a realistic scenario where you're gonna need to do certain things in order to go forward with the character. So it looks neat.
Yeah,
I still think that Watch Dog is
it's definitely
showstopper, the
absolutely
stealer of the whole show.
Absolutely, and we will put links to all of the trailers and the sneak previews in the comments below. If there's anything that you guys have seen from E3 that you think is a really awesome idea or game, tell us in the comments. Tell your friends about us, by the way.
Well, if you like the show, tell your friends. If you don't, shut up. And don't tell anyone. So, just kidding, guys. We really appreciate you watching us, and we really would love some feedback. See where we did mistakes, so we can actually apologize next following episodes and straight it up for you. But thanks for watching.
Absolutely.
CVA Podcast.
We're out.
Peace.